In the world of 4x4 trucks, you'll have a hard time finding one with a name that makes more sense than this. Welcome to another edition of Important, where American Cars and Racing checks out vehicles that aren't made by American brands or built in the USA by foreign brands, but are too important to ignore. And the Toyota 4Runner is definitely an important vehicle in the US, where it's long been one of the top-selling truck-based SUVs. And this 2025 model is the first all-new 4Runner since 2010, so this is a particularly monumental occasion. These days, the 4Runner is really the only direct competition for the Ford Bronco and Jeep Wrangler, even though the top on this does not come off. Well, that is to say the 4Runner and the new Land Cruiser that launched last year, which are both built on the same platform, which they also share with the most recent Sequoia, Tacoma, and Tundra. In fact, it's hard not to see the resemblance between this and the Tacoma. Oddly, this and the Land Cruiser are about the same size in length and width, although the Land Cruiser's body is a bit taller and it stands taller than this as well. But for a lot of reasons, the 4Runner slots below it on the price scale. It says a starting price of $42,765 for two-wheel drive SR5. And even though this is all new, Toyota's launched it with a full range of trims. Along with the SR5, you've got the TRD Sport, the Limited, the TRD Off-Road, the Platinum, and at the top of the lineup, the two coolest models, the TRD Pro, a name you're familiar with, and the Trailhunter, which is new. TRD Pro and the Trailhunter both start at $68,895, and the Trailhunter comes fully loaded. There aren't any options, just a list of accessories. Now, while the lower trims come standard with the iForce 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine, rated 278 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque, these top models get the iForce Max version of that powertrain, which is a hybrid that adds an electric motor and is rated for a combined 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. In the TRD Pro and the Trailhunter, that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission and a part-time 4x4 system with a 2-speed transfer case. The TRD Pro and Trailhunter both come with extra underbody protection and 33-inch all-terrain tires on 18-inch wheels that are black on the TRD Pro and bronze on the Trailhunter. The big thing that sets them apart is the suspension setup. The TRD Pro rides on Fox shock absorbers that are designed more for high-speed off-roading, while this gets a set of ARB Old Man Emus that are tuned for heavy-duty overlanding-style duty. They have aluminum bodies and remote reservoirs in the rear to keep them from overheating on long trail drives. And to help take advantage of them, the Trailhunter also gets this ARB roof rack. It's rated for 165 pounds on the move, 770 when you're parked. Of course, possibly the coolest Trailhunter specific feature is that snorkel style air intake over there, which is designed to help keep dust and water out of the engine. So up front, the 4Runner's got a comfortable layout, and the Trailhunter comes with heated and ventilated seats. Got dual digital displays, but also lots of knobs and buttons for the climate controls and the features. Now, you may be wondering why, if the 4Runner and the Land Cruiser are essentially the same size, Toyota bothers making both of them. And I don't really have a great answer for that, except that they do have very different vibes. The Land Cruiser has that retro SUV style, while this is more of a moon buggy. The groove's also different inside. The Land Cruiser's a little more stuffy, upright. Which way to the Serengeti, my fine sir? Well, this one's more chill. Bro, we are totally going to Glamis this weekend. And I don't know if people sound like that in those places, but that's how they feel. And even though they have the same wheelbase, the Land Cruiser's second row is a little roomier. The door to this one's tight, and so is the legroom. All of the 4Runners come with a power tailgate window, which is a signature feature for 4Runners, and a very large cargo area that has 42.6 cubic feet behind the second row of seats. And while some 4Runner trims are available with the third row of seats, the battery for the hybrid powertrain is in the floor back here, so there's no room for one. But the trade-off is pretty cool, because along with a 2400 watt power system, this has a built-in air compressor, so you can air down the tires when you're off-road, air them back up when you hit the road. Another extra electronic doodad is this removable LED spotlight that lets you adjust the brightness and the color. And you can also do that with those fog lights. The Trailhunter has an excellent JBL sound system that's not just good for road trips, but for when you get to where you're going. There's speakers in the tailgate, so you can leave that open and party in the back. And a removable Bluetooth one up front you can take over to the fireplace. On the move, this does feel a lot like the Land Cruiser. Got the same sort of lopey suspension setup. Although the Land Cruiser's 4x4 system does have a full-time setting. This course has plenty of drive modes for the street, plus the multi-terrain select for different off-road surfaces. And the Trailhunter comes standard with a detachable front sway bar to add some more articulation up there, plus a locking rear differential that works when you're in four-wheel drive low. This has 10.1 inches of ground clearance and great clearance angles to go with it, 33 degrees up front, 24 in the rear, and a 24-degree breakover angle. And that sort of stuff really is its big advantage over the Land Cruiser. That's not currently available in a very hardcore off-road model yet. These shocks really are perfect for the job out here. I haven't driven the TRD Pro 4Runner, but I have driven the TRD Pro Tacoma that has those Fox shocks, which are also manually adjustable. Out in the road, I thought these were going to be a little too soft, but out here they are appropriately limber and do a good job placing the body back down after you go over a big obstacle without too much hopping around. For the road, this gets the full Toyota Safety Suite package of electronic driver aids, which includes automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, and a very good lane centering adaptive cruise control. And a 360-degree camera system with a very comprehensive off-road screen that shows you the front and the sides, and along with some sensors that'll beep at you if you get too close to something, is all very handy on a very tight trail. Especially one with a boulder in the middle of it. Oh gosh, here we go. And there it goes around on the cameras. No spotter required, but it's probably a good idea to bring one along. Oh, and one other thing about the snorkel, it doesn't just keep things from getting into the engine, but let some cool sounds out of it. Ooh, that one's really good. It's fun, but I'll tell you, when you're stuck in traffic, it gets a little old and does not amuse the passenger in the front seat. Well, maybe the first couple of shots. As far as this powertrain is concerned, the electric motor does give you a little instant kick while the turbo's spooling up, and it all takes some getting used to if you've been driving an old 4Runner with the 4-liter V6, which was rated at 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque. And here's the remarkable thing. While that was rated at 17 miles per gallon combined, this is rated at 23 miles per gallon combined, even though it has more than 100 extra horsepower. And just the same, this is more fuel efficient than the non-hybrid iForce, which is rated at 21 miles per gallon with four-wheel drive. And it has pretty aggressive brake regeneration when you let off the accelerator that slows the vehicle down quite abruptly sometimes. All trims have the same 6,000 pound tow rating, which is up from 5,000 for the last generation 4Runner. Mostly because of the size, this reminds me more of the Bronco than the Wrangler. Although the fact that it has an independent front suspension might have something to do with that too. But it's a hardtop. The Bronco and Wrangler aren't. And aside from the high-end Mercedes G-Class and startup Ineos Grenadier, Toyota's the only one that makes one in this size class. Well, it makes two, of course, with the Land Cruiser, and there's also the Lexus GX that's also built on this platform. I guess you actually do have a lot of choices in this segment, thanks to Toyota.